Welcome to Otto's Garage. Well, I did say it was cage day, and here she is. So what they've done basically is they've delivered a big bag of bars in here, and then we've got a box with some parts in it. We'll open that up, and then we've got the main hoop and the front A-pillar bars just there. But immediately on seeing it, what they've done is they've marked everything up. So each piece basically has got the code on it, and I believe in this box here we'll have a drawing in there that we can cross-reference everything to. But she's quite a heavy beast. It's all T45. All of the ends are laser cut, profiled, so we haven't got any fish mouths to do on there. That should all be done. And what I've been told is that basically if we get a part that doesn't fit, it's probably in the wrong place. So the main thing to do is just take your time and tack it first before you do any serious welding, just to make sure everything fits in the right place. So that's the plan, is to try and crack on with that. And this is a huge turning point obviously for the car. Once that cage is in, then we'll be starting to look at some paint. So happy days, we've got a cage and we got some wheels as well. Brilliant. And this is the schematic of where the cage all goes together. So all of the tubes that are marked out on this drawing have got a corresponding label attached to them, so that at least gives us a pretty good idea of where the different bars are going to go. And obviously what you do is you build the main hoops up in first, and then it's a process from there of getting assembled in the right order. There is quite a good video which somebody's put on YouTube for custom cage installation. That's quite good. That gives some good top tips on it. So I'll be following that at the same time as referring to this diagram, obviously. Okay, I've offered up the first hoop. That's our starting position. So what we've got to do apparently is not fix anything together at the moment, just get the main hoop in place, which is done there. I've got to put the feet in underneath and sit it on the feet where it sits on the sill, and then basically this is the front A-pillar frame. That's got to come down and sit on this front foot down here as well. So we've got to get that offered up really, and just try and determine where the rear hoop is going to sit in relation to the front A-pillar brace. Okay, so this is the main hoop for the cage, and that's got to go in first, and then everything else comes to it. So what we've had to do is take the foot plates and basically just slightly bend them open. They come as 90 degree, they're slightly bent over. Put them on the press just to ease them open a bit, because we've got to replicate the line of the sill there. And then I've just nipped the corner off with the plasma, and then basically that then fits quite nicely in that position and just follows the contour of the car on the inside there. So I've just marked around it basically for the position of where it is, and then we'll get a wire wheel on that, clean that up, and then we can tack that into place. And we've got to do that obviously on both sides. The other one I've already marked up on the other side over there. In other news, we've had a nice delivery today. I like this one. This is basically the steering wheel has arrived. So we haven't got a car to put it on yet, but at least yeah, we've got a steering wheel. Gone for quite a nice classic rally look. A lot of the Deltas have these on. It's a Sparco, and it's got quite a decent dish on it as well, because obviously in the car now we've got a situation where the seat is set back, so we just need a little bit more reach basically to get onto that. I have got a quick release coming for that as well, so when I've got that as well, I might just get the column put in place, and then we can just determine that the seat mounts are going to be welded in the correct place on those tubes that we previously put in. But yeah, I like that. That's a nice wheel, and I can't wait to give that a twirl as we're going down the road. Right, the other thing that's arrived are the wheels, so we'll get this box open, have a look at it, and just see what she looks like. Well, it's where oh, beauty. Well, the cage is here, and we've just been starting to do a little bit of work on it. As it arrived, it's quite a selection of bits. So basically, we've had a look through with it. We've marked up on the various members. So basically, where it says it on the stick, we've actually marked them up, so it's a little bit easier to see when you actually come to find the right part. So what I've done now is I've just put a few pieces in, and it's proving quite tricky because what you've got to do is think ahead all the time. So although we haven't fixed this dashboard bar at the moment, it is determining the setting out for the front uprights on the A-pillars there. So basically it's just really a matter of finding each bit as it goes and trying to get it in the right place, and then just tack welding it, and then we can move anything if we've got to move it, which we have just found we've got to move one part about 4 or 5 mil to make it work. So that's what we're working on. So I'll just keep you updated as we work our way through and it takes shape. Okay, this is just another little teaser for you. I was expecting the cage to arrive, and it has indeed come, but also on the same day it's like a double Christmas because we've also had the wheels, and I just had to get one offered up just to see what she was like. So pretty cool. They're bowlers, they're 8 by 17 and they're from Demon Tweaks. They've got ET35 on them, 4x98 PCD. So that's looking pretty good. I like that. We can get a 225 tyre on that, which will be just right. Anything wider than that, I think we're going to start fouling suspension components in the back of it. But when I get the tyres on it, we can get them mounted up properly. But at the moment, they're going to go back in the box and stick them on the shelf until we get everything else done. But yeah, that's pretty cool. I like the look of that, and that should be really tidy once we get some tyres, obviously. Some more arrivals today. We've now got ourselves a nice sticky set of Toyo Proxus R888Rs. So these are a road legal tyre. They're on the list 1B from the Motorsport Association Blue Book. So we can use them for hill climbing. I don't want to use them massively on the road because I'm pretty sure that they wouldn't last too long. They are very soft indeed, but they should be great for what I need them for up the hills. 225 45 17 on there. I'm going to offer up one of the wheels just into the wheel well because I'm a little bit concerned that we might have a clearance issue on the inside wall of the tyre where it's meeting the bodywork of the car. I think I might have to modify that slightly and just put a slightly wider tub in there to accommodate that width. Obviously the original Prisma, they had, I think they were off a push bike or something like that. They were super skinny tyres. But anyway, one thing's led to another and we're going with these, so we've got to make them fit. Simples. Okay, there's the same wheel but with the tyre on now. Just to give a bit of a mock-up, I've just stood that up there. I really need to get the suspension components put back on again. I've just taken them all off so that we can do the welding on the cage, etc. But I've got a couple of concerns. One is in here. I think we're going to have to take this off. That looks like it's an accident waiting to happen, and I don't know until we get it all put back on again. But you can see that little triangle up there. Where are we? Yeah, just here basically. That's the inner wheel arch there, and I just wonder whether I might have to cut that out on the inside and tub it, because it is getting mighty close. But of course, until I get the suspension components on again, then we're not really going to know. But yeah, Toyo R888Rs, pretty soft and sticky, ideal for a bit of hill climbing. I like that, looks good. That's the first cross brace put in the roof, so that's determined the position of the front bar over the top of the windscreen relative to the main hoop. So what we'll do now is we'll just put the two little cross pieces each side of that to form the main roof double diagonal cross brace. Right, so we've managed to get on quite well actually today, and we've installed not only the front bar up here running across the front of the screen, but also the cross up in the roof. So we're quite pleased with how that's all gone. That's just all tacked in at the moment, but at least it is all kind of where it should be. So what I've got to do now is give it a little bit of decent welding to the parts that I can get to, and then what we'll have to do is crack off the spot welds just on here, the tacks on all four plates, and then we've got to put a ratchet across the bottom from side to side and pull the legs in, both on the main hoop and the front as well. And then what that'll mean is that we can get the cage to sit down on the floor. So at the moment obviously it's up on top of the sill. When we can get it pulled in and drop it down on the floor, that's going to give us a bit of access to get over onto the top and do the welding with this in a lower position. When that's welded up there, we can then lift it back up onto the plates, and then they can be welded and fully welded onto the plates, get all that done. I think when this main structure is complete, we'll then be able to get on with the additions, the bars running down to the back turrets, and then getting all the door bars in, and finally working out how we're going to get the front braces through to the struts off the front there. So that's a good day's work. We'll get cracking on with it, and I think what I'll do is I'll say thanks for watching Otto's Garage, and stay tuned. We'll see how we progress with this cage in the next episode. All the best, see you soon. Bye bye.